Good morning, guys. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another BEJ live stream. This is the official BEJ live streaming channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. We are almost at 1,000. I can count how much we need on all my appendages, right? So remember to subscribe to this channel. It's a more casual channel. Sometimes we have discussions. You guys can call in as well. We can talk. Sometimes we have live interviews, and as soon as we can, we will be, doing outdoor adventures, all across the world. So that's going to be fun whenever we can do that. COVID-19 is still wreaking havoc across the world. So as soon as it go back from whence it came, we should be good to go. Again, guys, good morning. Welcome to another stream. We usually come on at 10 a.m. JST. There's one update. The time might change. The time for the live streams might change to be earlier than 10 a.m. So that's one potential change that might be coming. I'll keep you guys updated in regards to that. In terms of the frequency, it might change, maybe not, but we'll see. But the time might be changing really soon. But I'll keep you guys updated. Well, you can't see me? You can't? Well, you can't see me, Jay. Okay, are you trolling? Are you trolling, Jay? I feel like you're trolling. You are trolling. Endeavoring, how you doing? How you doing? What's up? Valcover, how you doing? Aloysius, welcome. Good morning. Bag Manny, what's up? Tipito, how you doing? Mac Curtis, what's up? So Endeavoring said, just finished the Okinawa interview you posted earlier today. Cool. Yeah, man, look, that couple, man, they're amazing. And they loved Okinawa. Like, honestly. And you know what? The truth of the matter is they're not hyping it up. They're not hyping up Okinawa one bit. If you've been to Okinawa, if you've lived in Japan, and you have the Japanese experience, and then you go to Okinawa, and you're from the Western world, you'll appreciate it. It's definitely a place where people could go and live and retire, chill. When people say that Japan has the what's it like longevity, right? Is the people in Japan, I guess, benefit from longevity, and Okinawa has the most centurions, I believe, in the world. So if you go to Okinawa, the oldest people living in the world can be found in Okinawa. The place is just conducive to longevity. Just it's chill, it's laid back, it's beautiful. Again, it's a sort of amalgamation of the Okinawan culture, the Japanese culture, and the American culture as well. So it's like all three in one, and you can get that on just Okinawa. So yeah, so when they're talking about it, they're not just like blowing fluff. They're not just saying it because I've been there. You guys know it's an amazing place. But if you haven't watched that interview, go check it out. I think it's pretty cool. They shared their experience residing in Okinawa, as a couple, and also the first time they came as a family, they brought their kids as well. And I'm just giving you guys a synopsis. And when they returned back to the U.S., they were welcomed by the Mandalay shooting in Las Vegas, and that was a sort of wake up call. But you got to watch the interview to get all the details. But once they spent about 18 months. I think it was about a year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half. To 18 months. Trying to get back to Japan, and they finally did. But you got to watch the interview. Watch the interview. That's why we post the videos for you to check it out. So that video is on the main channel. So if you haven't seen it yet, you can watch it. If you want to just leave the live right now and go watch it, that's cool. If you want to go and watch it afterwards, that's cool as well. Right? Okay, so Jay saying she could not see anything. Like Jay, like honestly, like that sounds like a troll comment. It's like when people come on and they're like, "Oh, I can't see you." And then because I have a black backdrop, it's like, okay, well, are you trying to say I'm that dark that you can't see me? Huh? Is that what you are saying? Melinda, what's up? How you doing? Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the world. Yeah, indeed. Mother's Day. You know, it's funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. Okay. You got some people need to call. It's kind of crazy when you think about the Mother's Day and holidays, right? In the West, you actively have like be thinking about, oh, what's when which date is it in the West, right? Like when is it? You know, for instance, like birthdays and these things, you gotta like look and you gotta watch your time to make sure that that's actually the right time. But yeah, so Mother's Day is like, is it today or was it yesterday? It's actually technically wait, today's what? Technically it's today for people in the West, I think. Okay, yeah. So you just screw us up sometimes. But anyways, happy Mother's Day, y'all. Happy Mother's Day. Um, yeah. I don't know. I'm not trying to like throw any shade, you know, but Mother's Day is a day where you know the mothers they're showered with all these things, and then Father's Day. Well, not for me though. I can't complain because usually some fathers always say, "Man," and when I was growing up, I feel like it was that way though. When you have Father's Day, it's almost like people the general approach to Father's Day was almost like it wasn't that significant, and we all know it is. I understand the necessity of a dad, a father. I grew up without my dad. My mom was, I guess, effectively a single mom. Like my dad was, like we spoke sometimes on the phone, but he wasn't there physically, and that definitely that did something. But yeah, but for me, at least I can say, you know, thanks to my wife, you know, she's watching. She's not where I'm at right now, and my daughter as well. I think for me, my Father's Day so far have been pretty good. So that's definitely something I'm appreciative of. And of course, Mother's Day is always, you know, like the you know, amazing day. So if you're a mother on Mother's Day, I'm pretty sure that you're good, you're pampered, you know, you're doing your thing. So that's cool. Hey, what's up, Busy Mike? How you doing? Again, guys, if you guys want to call in, we have the link in the description down below or to the side. Feel free, you know, to click it, hop on. You know, and listen, we don't discriminate. So if you ain't got no makeup on, it's fine. You know, lip gloss ain't popping, it's cool. You know, like it doesn't matter. And if you want to call, feel free to call in. Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what, Jay, you should call. And maybe can you call? Click on the link in the description, and then maybe you can come in by satellite from wherever you are right now. Yeah. I guess maybe since it's maybe I could speak on this a little bit more. So with Mother's Day, I think well for me, definitely I have one of the best mothers in the world. And I think that's a title that most mothers have. And I think also, and I'm not exaggerating, and I've said this before many, many times, but the truth of the matter is like, you know, my daughter is definitely blessed. I'm not joking. To have my wife as a mother. Um, you know, Jay is an amazing mother. Like I'm not even trying to front, not trying to stunt, not trying to anything, but she's on and she's watching. Of course, definitely Tiffany is blessed to have you as a mother as well. So yeah, that's cool. So I can say that my daughter has one of the greatest mothers on the planet. Sorry, other mothers, you know, like I'm just saying. Anyways, so yeah, so that's your public applaud or applause, Jay. Tony Blackman, did you guys watch Erica Badu and Jill Scott? No idea. No. Bagmoney said, "Mom wants a gold chain like she's some old school gangster." Is that like a lyric from a song? That's that's what it sounds like to me. Um, oh, okay, I see. Okay, Jace, okay. You don't have to call, that's fine. Oh, Mac. Mac, I'm really sorry to hear that, man. I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, I understand. I can imagine that it's the joy, I guess. I mean, that's one of those things that I can't even imagine, you know. So it's like the day itself might represent something for you. It might be well, I'm not even asking if it might be. I think it's a painful day for you, right? I can imagine, you know, every time it comes around and everyone is celebrating, you remember your mom. I think, yeah, but I don't want to go down that road. But you know, my condolences to you. I can imagine how tough that is or has been. And it's funny because usually on certain social media, I have friends, and usually when it's Mother's Day or their mother's birthday, um, or as yeah, usually they would post and they would write these things, you know, like a just their thoughts and the way they feel uh, about their mother's passing, and usually it's like usually very sad, and when you read it, you know, you're gripped with emotions, and yeah, you think about your mother as well, and it's not cool, you know, the way you feel. But you know, it's man, it's one of those things in life, eh? Life can be so beautiful and so dark at the same time. Indeed. Yeah. Oh yeah, not no well, no, definitely I guess I guess it's cool. I guess mothers or just parents or anyone that benefits from a holiday, they like it still, right? So but I do understand, you know, people make things, you know, they commercialize it. And of course the general attitude should be, you know, always trying to remain grateful. And the fact of life is most of us, like, we don't even, we should be sober all the time, and I talk about that all the time, but usually to remain in that state you need a catalyst usually, or you need an anchor. Because if you're away from these two things, you get caught up with the day to day, especially if you're busy or you're doing like all these things or whatever you're doing. It's like sometimes you forget, um, you know, to maybe call someone or do something, you know. But given if anyone can live in a constant state of sobriety, I think that's a good place to be. I think because at that point you won't waste your time, right? You won't waste time. You won't take anyone for granted. You know, people, opportunities, whatever. Because we know the fact of life is that even though it seemed to be so far away from many of us, that you know it's an inevitability that those that we love the most won't always be with us, whether it's us departing from them or them departing from us. It's just crazy, you know. Every time I start talking about these things, you guys know. But yeah, it's a beautiful day still, right? So we're talking about, you know, just mothers, you know, the resilience, you know, like they're cut from a different cloth altogether, man. Altogether, there's a function that I believe that mothers fulfill that no one else, it can be substituted, and I feel the same about fathers as well. I believe both parent were fashioned a certain way, and as a result of that, there's a level of contribution that the mother offers and the father offers as well that can be substituted. You remember the good days and it makes you smile. Tipito, that's a good way. It's a good way to remember someone who has passed. But I can imagine how challenging, that is, man. I don't even want to think about that, honestly. What's this? Safari. How you doing? Vancouver. I think Mother's Day is every day. Not only today, miss my mother too, but I believe she's watching over me. Wow. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, guys. Quite a few of you guys who are watching now um, don't have your mother. Your mother is with us, or your mother with you. Yeah, I grew up with my grandmother. She was instrumental in my upbringing as well, because like my mom was always working. Like she had to like my mom had like two jobs. Like she was, yeah, she was like a warrior, no joke. She she found a way, man. She found a way, like never gave up at all. So like like eternal respect, man. So my grandmother was there. I actually grew up with my family though, in terms of like grandmother, grandfather, um, my mom, aunts, uncles, cousins, my brothers, in Jamaica. So yeah. What is the vibe like there? You mean in Japan? I don't even know. Like honestly, like I haven't really gone to the mall, so I don't know. But I did see some adverts uh a few weeks ago about Mother's Day. So they do celebrate it in Japan, but I'm not sure what it looks like. I've actually never experienced like a Japanese Mother's Day celebration before, so I'm not sure what that's like in Japan. It would be interesting to see, but in Asia overall, there's this a level of honor that the um parents receive from their kids. One of the things I've heard is that once once you have parents, you're indebted to them until they die. So it's like, as long as, look, you got your parents, like they're like like the most like honorable, and you have to show them that thing. You guys know, like in Asia, that's a big thing, especially in Japan as well. Like in Japan as well, right? When you're thinking about like the hierarchy, or who's older than who, it's a big thing here. So I can imagine, this is just my assumption because I've never spoken to anyone about like what Mother's Day is like in Japan before, so I'm not sure. But I could just imagine that it's one of those very special occasions where the mother is upheld. I know mine is watching over me, but I can't stop missing her, especially in times like these. Man, yeah, they're gonna make me like call my mother and be on the phone for like a few hours, even though that's always the case. Like usually, I haven't seen my mom in 5 years. 5 years, right? Yeah, about 5 years. Yeah, like physically. But usually, when you have like social media, you have like FaceTime and all these things. It's easy for you to just hop on, and talk to someone. All right, and it's yeah, definitely you need to make sure you always have time for those who are important to you, for sure, especially when they're just or only a phone call away. Alanda said, "My son told me tonight he wants to live in Tokyo when he gets older." Hey, look, it's cool, man. That's hey, you know, why not? It's not impossible. It reminded me, like, for me, my journey to Japan for me began really briefly with anime, right? And that's an integral part, and that's why I have behind me, I have like these like a sort of like a piece just to remember, just to just to remember what sparked or piqued my interest back then. So it was anime, and then so that was, I don't know when was that? I was up. I don't know. I'm not sure how old I was, but I was quite young, and that was what started the journey. Um, so yeah, and as I said, I was interested. I told people about Japan. I was so interested. I went, as I've said this before. I went to a language school. I never finished the entire course, but I did like a year of Japanese, and then what happened was it took me so long. So then I continued with my life or whatever, and like I forgot about Japan. It wasn't at the forefront of my mind until like just this chance encounter, as I've said before, just happened, and then a few months later, me and my family were in Japan, and it wasn't premeditated. It just happened, and I'm not sure why. I guess maybe I sowed a seed earlier in my life, and I guess I believe so strongly that I would, visit Japan or spend some time in Japan or whatever, that even when it wasn't at the forefront of my mind or in my conscious mind, some way, somehow it manifested, and now I'm here. So, what your son is aspiring for or what he's hoping for is very possible. And I know some people are watching right now and that watch the videos and want to go different places, not even just Japan, but you want to make a move, you want to go somewhere, and maybe you're not even sure how you're going to do it. Usually, most of the routes are pretty straightforward, right? The more traditional routes to various countries, pretty straightforward. You get a job, you go to school, right? You study. So usually, it's pretty straightforward. Um, and sometimes maybe maybe you don't have all the things you need. Maybe you don't have enough money, or you're not qualified for maybe a certain position, and you might find yourself with not really a conundrum, but I guess maybe a conundrum. And you're trying to figure out like, how can I make it? How can I make it happen? I don't know. I can't even say in terms of, sometimes certain things just happen and you can't explain it. So there's also that possibility that if you want it bad enough, I don't know. Like in my case, I have no idea. It just happened, which was just it was just so odd. It was so odd. I'm not sure. I guess it's destiny. I guess you can say, given just how it happened at the time it happened. And I guess I'm glad I said yes, even though like I was good in Canada and Canada was fine. Canada was fine. I love what I was doing. But anyways, so fast forward and I'm here now. So all I'm saying, I just said all that to say, um, sometimes it's hard to see yourself where you want to be, not just in terms of talking about a local, anything. It's hard when you're not there yet. It's so hard to summon the faith that's required to see yourself elsewhere. But I think it's a good practice, to try to like project yourself to where you want to be, and really hold that firm in your mind. And if there are things that you need to do, you work on those things. And I can't say, I'm trying to explain it, but I can't say in terms of how it wasn't at the forefront of my mind, but this happened, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I thought about this. Let me just do this. Let's, like, what do you think about Japan, Jay? Oh, I'm down. I'm cool. Okay, let's make it happen. But anyways, let's see where we. Better you call mom, Ranzo. Indeed, I will. Safari said, Black mothers toil so much, raise a family with no price tag to it. Indeed, it's one of those things though. As a parent, like you just have to do it, right? It's like it's your responsibility, right? So it's like like I have my daughter, and like if you think about it, usually, well, not usually, the kids, they just come, right? They come into the world, and you gotta like do your best, right, for them. And it's your responsibility, it's a commitment, of course, to do the very best that you possibly can. and try to give them the best experience. Like for my daughter, I think for me, more so than anything else, of course, you can teach them from your own experiences and from the experiences of other people as well, and other people can teach them as well. But more so, I'm more concerned with like the things that represents meaning, the things, the most valuable things in life, not material things, not money or whatever else. More so about the who she is as an individual. So those are some of the things that I'm really trying to focus on as much as I possibly can. And there's this one thing that I keep in my mind. I have it written down too, so I see it every day. Just to remind me that one of the most effective ways to teach your child is by example. And of course, sometimes we slip up, like, oh snap, you're telling them something and they might watch you doing something else, and the quote goes, children will be what they see. And I believe that's one of the most effective ways, especially when they're outside of your presence. Like you tell them something and they might do it in front of your face, but the moment you're gone, they just do what they see you do. So the most effective way to teach a child is by example, by just showing them, not just talking, showing them. So I got to catch myself all the time and say, okay, the way I want my daughter to be, I have to exhibit that. And it's funny because she's taken up like different my talking patterns. Some of the things she has taken by just observing me and my wife as well. And I'm like, oh snap, we gotta really watch out because they just take everything, man, and they make it their own. And like you're either gonna create a little monster or a little princess. And definitely it's on the parents a lot, especially through their formative years. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, but it's a commitment, and one has to be responsible, right? It's like this is where the journey begins, man. When we look at the world, when we look at society, it's the work, of the parents, right, or the negligence of the parents as well. But yeah, let's see comments. So Tony said, I'm in Brooklyn in Crown Heights. I heard soca gospel around noon, then jazz and reggae blasting around 3. Then it got quiet again, except for the sirens. Crown Heights sounds so familiar, though. I don't know why. Like someone came into someone came into my mind. I'm not, well, you know what? It wouldn't be Brooklyn, though. It wouldn't be. No. I don't know why that sounds, it rings a bell for some reason. Terry, how you doing? Jamaica Funk, what was your first anime experience? I'm older, so mine was Speed Racer. How do you know that you're older? Listen, how do you know you're older? If you see my dad, listen, we're like young. We got the young blood, okay? You see my wife, she doesn't look anywhere close to her age as well. So listen, I'm an older dude. I'm 42, man. Just turned 42, bro. My first anime experience, honestly, I'm late to the game. I'm not gonna lie. I started with a newer anime, and then I worked my way back, right? So I started with Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, Rurouni Kenshin, all those like way back. Let's see, SD Melinda. What's up, Purple Pacey Planner? How you doing? Let's see, where am I? Khalil, I'm good today. How about yourself? I'm good. I'm cool. I'm craving those mangoes. So I'm craving those Thai honey mangoes. They're so expensive though, man. It's one of those things. It's like, it's like 680 N for one. And the last time I spent like $100 on mangoes. Like, it's crazy. But the place that we bought them from ran out. So I think I bought almost we went like every day, which was so dumb because I never wanted to spend so much money on the mangoes. So I'm like, oh, I'll buy some today. And then after I had them, I'm like, man, more. So I kept going back until I think I bought most of the mangoes from that place. And I heard that they have more. So I want to go back. So I'm thinking about the mango. So how am I doing? I'm doing good, but I have this craving for those Thai honey mangoes, man. I wish there was a way to preserve mangoes and just have them like year round. Those specific mangoes. Um, the next one, the only other mango that I think can contend with those Thai honey mangoes are what we call East Indian. We call them in Jamaica, we call them East Indian mangoes. And those are the only ones I eat. I can't, any other mango, I can't really, yeah, Julie. There's another one called Julie mango. But if we're talking about mangoes that I can eat like nonstop, the Thai honey mangoes and the East Indian. My gosh. Listen, I'm going to buy some right after this. Okay. I don't care. Too expensive though, but hey, look, it's mango season right now, man. I gotta get my fill. Let's see who else. Wait. So Tony, you said that West Indian Day parade starts right by your building. Isn't it? Are you out of lockdown right now? Are you guys can you guys go out and I guess party or do whatever you guys are doing? They're having a parade right now? Or they usually have the parade in that area? What's this? Oh, Crown Heights are very, very famous. Okay, yeah. For some reason, I'm not. It just it rings a bell. I might have been there or driven through there before. DBZ Gundam, Yu Hakusho. You don't look 42. You don't look your age either. Okay, so wait. So you're okay. So are you 60 something? You remind me of my my wife's stepdad. I think he's, I don't know, like how old is he? Like he's old, like, but he doesn't look it at all. I think I can't remember even seeing a gray hair. But at least yeah, my family, like we definitely my dad, my mom, they do not look their age at all. Yeah. What was this? Bagman said, I started the game late. What was this? Oh, the goat. Oh, the goat. Okay, the greatest of all time. The only anime I know is Dragon Ball Z and Gundam Wing. I grew up on Cartoon Network. Yeah, honestly, some people talk about people are interested in Japan that okay, like anime or like whatever they say about it. But the truth is, I'm not sure if most people would know about Japan if it wasn't for anime. It's a great way to export their culture, right? And I guess what some people erroneously believe that Japan is like what they see in anime. Of course, it's not the case. But one thing is pretty consistent in anime is like the infrastructure, right? When you see like most like beside the river, like the I don't even know what you call this thing, but everywhere that you go in Japan, the construction, the infrastructure is the same. I don't know how they do it. Like every river has the same banking design. Everywhere is just the same. Like so, even in anime, what you see in anime when you come to Japan, that's exactly what you're gonna see. But the landscape is just the same. So at least in that respect, it depends on which anime you're watching. It's the same, right? But it's a great way, And I think that's one thing I think about when I'm thinking about like Black people, for instance. Of course, we're not a monolith, and we have a lot of cultures, right? When we talk about the African diaspora, uh, it's like Japan was so effective in exporting their culture, and even Hollywood does the same thing when it comes down to the American culture. Maybe I think Nollywood is doing something as well. But I guess it really depends on the channels. So Nollywood, Bollywood, Hollywood, and even the anime industry in Japan, they do a great job of exporting. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, so we know how powerful that is, and the influence that media in those form have. So it's like I'm still so for me, I just think about the power of media that showcases black people as we are, right? Not we're not showing this stereotypical image that benefits someone else, but something that benefits us as a people or as a collective. So now I think about that, when I think about anime and just the impact, I'm like, man, imagine if we had like just black centric stuff, like movies, and whether it's cartoons, anime, whatever, like a lot, like amazing, not just like you know just mediocre or whatever, but like really really good stuff, really good stuff. Like I'm like Hollywood level movies, right? Like that type of level and even beyond. How effectively our desire or yeah, to change the narrative would be, right? Because media is powerful, man, and it doesn't even matter. Like you want to come to a country that you've never been to, a region that you've never been to, and the only connection you have with it is what you've enjoyed through a screen. So imagine that. We need a proliferation of positive black images in every media, from books all the way to movies to games, whatever, everything. Anyways, Chili Freeman, how you doing? Um, oh, what's this? I think the second wave of popular anime started with Voltron and Battle for the Planets. Okay, OG in the house. Terry Lorenzo. I thought you was in your 30s as my son is 32. I am a young 55. I'm actually not 42, right? I'm close to 42, but I'm not 42. Okay, let me just say that, so I won't lead you guys on. Let's see. So Purple Paisley said her favorite animes are DBZ, Naruto, Inuyasha, Gundam, and Sailor Moon. Milk Millie said, "Yeah, I started my with Dragon Ball Z back in like 1997. Back then, anime wasn't big in the West, and it wasn't easy to get." Wait, what was this? Oh, okay, I'm reading way too slow. Oh, I thought you said illegal. Oh, so Tony said no partying. They used to have it near here. Okay, in terms of the parade, my mouth is so dry today. Also, so Jamaica Funk said they're back to public square, dancing here in my part of China. You uploaded a new video on your channel last night about it. Okay, cool. So I guess China has settled down now. Drifting. Oh, my mom is not in her 40s. What? Oh, SD, sorry to hear that, man. I can't even imagine. What's up, Earl? How you doing? So Tony said, "Imagine the quarantine has me rethinking so much, prioritizing my dreams and goals as an artist and creative professional. We can change the narrative with our content using creativity." Indeed, Mylin, how you doing? Darian, all of the anime lovers, please watch. What's this? Parasite, the Maxim. It's on Hulu, only one season, and has a very powerful message. You know, wait, I haven't even watched Hulu. Like they keep sending me like stuff, but I'm like, I've never like. Do people actually watch that? I don't even have Netflix, so like I canceled Netflix a long time ago, and I don't have Hulu, either. So SD said, normally I could call people over to assist when needed, but that's not a thing right now. It's difficult having to face limitations and vulnerability. Uh, I can say the word. I can't even talk. Vulnerabilities that are exposed by this level of isolation. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. Like that's, that's one of those things, SD, right? Because you said you're legally blind. One of those things that we can't even like people with. I guess we could close our eyes and maybe try to walk around to get an idea, but I don't think we can even imagine, not being able to see like at all and just live, like do everything without sight. But I'm glad like, you're okay for the most part. I can't even imagine, like you're actually using a computer and I think you said when was this, maybe a few months ago, that you're using some type of system to help you, I guess, to read out the comments or something like that. I'm not sure, something like that. So it's, yeah, it's quite something, man. It's quite something. I guess that's one of those things that maybe we haven't even thought about during this quarantine time, this lockdown period, that people like yourself who would usually rely on other people who live alone to assist them, they might not be able to get aid like fast enough, or assistance fast enough. So that's something that we usually don't even think about. Take care, Terry. Thanks for coming on. Mr. Lynn, this quarantine has had me. What's this? Yeah, so again, guys, if you guys want to call in, like I'll just maybe accept one caller, um, and then I'm gonna go. And I came on like later today, and I've been on for like 42 minutes, but it's gonna be a quick one. Also, Max said you have to know how to get out of a totally dark machinery space in the Navy as an emergency drill for fires. Cool, cool, cool. But did you start making videos, SD, about oh, you might I think well, I guess you would need assistance, right? Someone else watches the live. I think the name of the person is blind guy, his wife, and their child or something like that. And she called in once. So at least her husband has assistance. But it's something I'm not. It's one of those things that it's when it comes on to when you lead your life right as just a person. Sometimes we don't even. The thing is, we don't even think about necessarily the experiences of other people unless maybe they themselves share it with us, especially when we can't identify with it. It's not even that we can't even identify with it. It's not just that. It's that the thought hasn't even crossed our minds, right? To even think about, okay, like what is it like to be a blind person in today's society, like how is it? All right, we don't even sometimes, because we have all of our faculties, we don't think about that. And it's one of those things where, and I guess even the black experience, for instance, some people, like, they probably don't even think about it, right? If they're not black, they, because it's like, okay, they're concerned with their own lives and the whatever problems they're facing and all these things, and it hasn't even crossed their minds, unless, because sometimes you talk to some people and they're like, oh, I never even, oh, okay, that's how it is, right? Like, So when you're not in someone's shoes, or it's like you can't, like, yeah, so sometimes, as I said, it's not that you don't care about it, it's just that it hasn't even entered your mind. So what I was saying was that, like, maybe even if you make videos, just talking about what it's like, um yeah, for some reason now I'm like, I'm probably gonna look up videos, um and see, just to, I guess, get an understanding of like what that experience is like. But it's one of those things, man. It's just where the world is. Usually it's like, unless you are in something, you're not even looking for a remedy, a solution, or how to get by with it. It's like one of those things when you run into problems, you're trying to like maybe fix something and you don't know how to do it. That's when you're researching a tutorial for fixing a phone or whatever. It's like at that moment in time, that's when you the desire arises for you to go and research and find out what this is, right? How do I do this? How do I do that? And before it, you have no interest, but then it comes into your mind. And just to think about that, to exist without like sight, or being unable to speak or hear or things like that, or walk, move around. Again, we were talking about earlier, mothers, parents. Man, we can't take anything for granted, uh, because you never know. But also, there are people who don't have, I guess, although not guess, but there are people who don't have all their working faculties, all their faculties, and they're doing extraordinary things. They're doing things that even like people with other faculties, can't even do or aren't even doing. Right. So for some people, it's not even a limitation. It just amplifies. Whether they're it makes them more determined. Like, yeah, it's quite something though. It would be cool though to hear like your experience, to get more insight into like that way of life. Mr. Lin said, this quarantine has had me relocate and open my eyes to a lot of things. Focus on who you need around you and prioritize your goals. Life is too short indeed. Tony, you're so right. The only thing I like about, okay, so we're getting into like politics and stuff. um let's see. Oh wow, 10 people who have passed away, Tony. That's crazy. SD, this is true. Yeah. You definitely need someone to help you. So Earl said I'm low vision. Hmm? Okay. Earl said I have low vision. That had 7. Oh, you've had 7 corneal transplants. Wow. Cataract, retinal, and laser surgeries, but I'm surviving. Wow. That sounds like a lot, man. Thanks to the great Canadian health system, they're taking care of me. OHIP is a godsend. Trust me. That's one thing about Canada that I appreciated. Like, free healthcare, man. Crazy. Because if you don't have that, just a visit, just a visit to the ER or whatever is just like $500 just to like visit. 500. Got your OHIP card, $0, 0 cents. Mia Linda. What's this? Okay, let's see. Milk said, I am always impressed when I see blind people navigating the world. Sometimes they do it so effortlessly. Yeah, I think I know the guy you're talking about, Mac. I'm not sure his name. So you're saying that Shaq was wrestling a guy without no lower body, from the waist down. I think I've seen the guy. He's a wrestler, right? A black guy, right? Yeah, like I see this guy, man. Like this guy is actually ripped as well. Like no legs, nothing, and it seems like his body, well, it appears as though his body like ends right as his torso. Like after his torso, that's it. Like it just ends like somewhere here. Not even at his waist. It looks like it's even higher. So maybe like right after his rib cage or something. And the man is a wrestler, dude. Trust me, man. Limitations only exist in the mind. Because if you really want to do something, you can do it. If you really want to do something and you do all that's required, you do all the work, you can get it done, man. It's not going to be easy, but how bad do you want it? Because when I see people like that, man, they inspire me every time. Oh. So Maylinda says she's waiting for her own corneal transplant, but coronavirus happened. SD says some of us can memorize and pass for sighted. It's 11 p.m. in Canada, Viral said. Bag money, yeah, I didn't know there were levels of blindness until I started working with a group of high school students who were blind. We prepped them for university life. Yeah, man. It's definitely like definitely, man. Whatever state or stage or status you have in life, man, it doesn't matter what it is. You got to be grateful. Like honestly, I think that's one of the best ways to live. Gratitude. Um, because the thing is, there are so many things that we can't control. So many. So wherever you find yourself, if at all, we can, you know, get to a place of gratitude and just make the best of everything you have while you have it. If there comes a time when it is gone, at least you can say, you know what, I tried my best to maximize this and use this to the best of my ability. Okay, I see Melinda. Wow. 3 p.m. in New Zealand. Oh yeah, you guys are ahead of us, right? Yeah. Wow, there's a country that's like 3 hours ahead of Japan. Crazy, because usually everyone that we talk to usually is behind us in time. Wow, bag money. Cross Harmonics. How you doing? We're good. We're good. Appreciate it, Viral. Oh, wait. So SD, you said your photography gear was you said something about photography, did you? How do you do it? So you said so you're legally blind, but you do photography. How do you do it? That sounds fascinating. My photography gear was stolen during a robbery in 2018, and I don't have the funds to recoup. I'm praying that art grants that I'm shouting for will still, oh, shooting for, will still be available after this pandemic is over. How do you do that? That sounds very fascinating. What's up, Jerome? How you doing? Earl, wow. A 6-inch needle in your left eye every month. Oh my gosh. It's a coincidence. Like so many of you guys, like a handful of you guys on here, have like like eye issues. A 6-inch needle in your left eye. Snap. Like, do you feel it? Do like, well, more than like, of course, they have to give you some sort of like sedative or something. Okay. So Mia Linda said, um, she's legally blind, but she's an ICU nurse. Okay, okay. Like I had an incident at one point, and so I don't know how you do that with the left eye thing, and they had to like push this needle like into my head, like that, like into like I don't know how long this thing was. I don't know. It was maybe like this, maybe 3. I don't even know, dude. And the thing is, they had to like put it like in the wound, right? So it had to like, so like I felt all that while it was going down. I'm like, man, it was crazy. They had to help hold me down, man, because I'm just like, bro, that was like, can you imagine somebody's like pushing the needle into open wound and you're feeling it going in? Because they had to like release the anesthesia, whatever they call it. Crazy, crazy. And this man has a 6-inch needle every month. Do you feel it? Like talk to me, man. Do you feel it? Like, do they give you a pill or something? It's crazy. Man, we have to be grateful, man, every day. SD said, being blind is for me doing photography as a way of seeing things that you'd ordinarily miss. The lens becomes an extension of my eyes. I'm still okay. Is there a name for the practice? Like, is there like blind photography or something I could look up just to get? Because I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. Because I'm trying to figure out, is it a special camera that you use, or you use like any other camera, like a normal DSLR, for instance? And then I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. It does sound fascinating, though. Gotta say. Or can you see a little bit? So they give you the freezer eye drops before. What's this? Oh, liquid. Okay, so so I mean liquid. So a liquid freezing eye drops before the needle. Man. Y'all should call in and talk about this, man. I'm reading the comments, but y'all should call in. I'm like, this is some next level thing, man. Most people that I know that are blind are big on social media. It's a leveled playing field. But I gotta look it up because I'm like I'm baffled, but it's fascinating. And once I finish this, I'm gonna check and see like how this is done. I don't know why I find that so funny. So Jamaica Funk said those original COVID tests um, was a swab inserted up your nose. My friend told me that it felt like they pushed it up to her to her brain. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. I don't know why I find that so funny. The man said she felt like they pushed it up to her brain. Hilarious. Liquid eye drops. Okay. But SD still, yeah, I don't understand. But okay, I'll look it up and find out how it's done. I'm gonna have to leave you guys now though. Okay, you started out as a cameraman. Okay, okay. Did your eye condition, Earl, have something to do with like staring at a screen all day? Was that it? Okay, okay, so you can see a little bit SD. Your vision wavers. Okay, so you're 2400 with correct with I guess correction gear. Okay, with correct wear. So basically the big E on the eye chart looks like a B. Okay, okay. You're also restricted to central vision, no peripheral or depth perception. Wow. See, like something like that is one of those things where I'm going to start looking it up because like see, this is what I'm saying. So this is like exposure for me. Because I never thought that deep into someone's experience who is blind, right? Or legally blind. Um, and that's the thing. You might see a person, but you might not know someone personally. And maybe if you do know someone personally, then you'd ask them these questions. But you might see a person walking by, like in Tokyo, for instance. I see people sometimes. You don't see a lot of blind people or disabled people in Japan. I don't see them if they have a lot. But you don't come in contact with people, like that often. People are blind, etc. But just talking to you guys, it's like I'm getting like I'm getting a deeper understanding of what it's like. So now I'm curious, and then sometimes as well, it makes a person. Well, usually, like for me, like I try to help them as much as I can, right? But I think it also makes a person more. Um, they might want to help more because they have a greater understanding, I guess. But I can't imagine anyone who would not want to help. Um, but yeah, so like now, for instance, now I'm gonna like look into videos to see. I'm pretty sure there must have people out there who are, I guess, talking about their experience or like do videos and show like what it's like, etc. But it's one of those things that can open the eyes, right, of metaphorically, of course, of people who can see. Ah, I'm glad that it was good for you, SD. But I'm genuinely interested. Look, I am. That's why I'm asking the questions. Like, I'm not trying to pretend like I understand what it's like. I'm fascinated and I'm interested. That's why I'm asking these questions. Wow. Okay, Earl. Oh, so SD is also a painter. Okay, so SD, you need someone. You definitely need someone to come over your house with a camera, and just film you and stuff. Because that sounds pretty cool to me. I see, Earl. I see. CNIB. Wow. See, look, man, there's no limitations, man. I know, I guess sometimes we just like doing what's comfortable. We just like doing what's easy. I think most of us, gravitate toward that. Want to do what's easy, what's comfortable, maybe what comes naturally to you. But man, no limitations. It doesn't matter where you are. Like I spoke about this a few days ago about, using what's within your environment, wherever you find yourself. You got to use, like whatever faculties you have, you got to use the resources that you have, right? You got to make the best of what you have. And these things are an example, like prime examples of that in action, right? If you find yourself without sight, you have to make the best of what you have, right? You find yourself without money, you have to make the best of what you have. You find yourself without whatever it is, you have to make the best of what you have, because there are people who have less than you have, who are doing more than you're doing, because they decided to make the best of their environment and the resources that they have. And it's just the way it is. And I think each and every one of us, because we have our own individual journeys, but the goal, I think, is to make the best of what we have and do the very best that we can. And then we'll see, and then, like, see where that takes us. So many fascinating stories, so many things, man. So many things. So Max said he's a digital design artist. Milk said, in Asian culture, a family is locked down, is looked down upon if they have a disabled person in the family, so they hide the disabled family member at home, or at least in China. Wow. So Tipito said, SD, my niece has the same conditions. She often gets really bad migraine that lasts for weeks off and on. Wow. SD said, there are a few documentaries on blind photographers. When I started, I didn't know anyone was out there. I was actually discouraged by some blind organizations. No, I said CNIB. So CNIB, or else I'm just trying to just say, make it fancy, but CNIB. You've been low vision for approximately 40 plus years. Wow. So Tony said that is gratitude in action. Wow. Melinda said, the thing is, Ranzo, we may not have a lot of vision, but we are very talented people. Awesome. That's amazing. Like, just, yeah, doing what you guys are doing. It's always inspiring. Wow. Jamaica Funk said, none are so blind as those who will not see. Matt Murdock, Daredevil. In my course, I have shot, produced, directed, and produce, and production managed over 500 music videos, commercials, sports, and tons of feature and short films. Wow. So Jerome is okay. Wow, man. So Jerome is having an operation tomorrow to remove. I'm not sure what operation, Jerome. So this is more so me just talking to you guys, just reading the comments and just chatting with you guys, and it's pretty cool. I know that maybe some people are watching and if I want me to say something, but I'm just really engaged with the comment section today. The revolution continues, eh? So, guys, I'm gonna hop off right now, and if you guys have not yet watched the latest interview that I released with Wendell and Anquinette on the main channel, please go and check it out. I see, I see. You know what, Mac? But you know what, Mac? Actually, I might do that. You know what? I may very well do that. I'm not even lying. I may do it. I think I will actually, if SD is up for it. SD, if you're up for it, if you want to be interviewed, please let me know. I just find this so fascinating. I don't, even if it's just to raise awareness, send me an email to info@blackxjp.com, please. I'm not joking. We can do the interview over like online, like a video interview, right? So we can do that. I think that would be cool, at least just to raise awareness, just give people some information, so you can share your experience, share your story. I think that's something that would be cool. So if you're down for it, let me know. Just contact me, reach out, and then I can make arrangement and we can make it happen. We could do it live as well, right? So so instead of me reading the comments, I would ask you the questions and you can answer them, and then I can have the questions prepared beforehand, and we could do that. That'd be cool. So that'd be cool. Oh wow. So SD, well, you guys see the comments, right? That you've dated guys who've asked you to fake sighted. So you broke up with them instantly. So hurtful. Yeah, of course, I'm just like, why would someone ask you to do that? And then you also said your extended family, your extended Korean family also asked you to fake sightedness. You refused. Wow. So Jerome said there's a lump on his hand. Wow. I hope it's not, that C word. No problem, getting. Thanks for watching it. Thanks for hopping on, Tony. Okay, so all right, guys. So that's it for now. Thanks for coming on. This was pretty cool. This was pretty cool for me. Thanks for coming on. So I catch you guys again tomorrow. Yeah, do reach out, SD. Let's see. Let's see. That sounds pretty interesting. So thanks for coming on. So maybe we'll make. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. But guys, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you guys coming on. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for sharing the videos. Thanks for watching the live streams, the videos, liking, commenting, sharing, all that, spending your time, your very, very valuable time with me. I appreciate it. Not joking. I appreciate you guys. Thanks again. Until next time, tomorrow, 10 a.m. JST, approximately, we will be live again. As I said, I might change the time to be a little bit earlier. That's if I do, I'll let you guys know. And what else? I think for the frequency may also change, but I'm not sure yet. But let's see what happens. Until next time, Elsa Durant, if you need me to appear on that show, where we discuss folks with side issues. You know, maybe we might do it. Yeah, I might even make it um let's see, more than one person. Like, I'm fascinated by it, and I guess and that's the thing, because I'm fascinated by it, and I think it could really maybe open the eyes of other people as well. Maybe I might try to put something together. Let's see what can happen. Maybe I might do more than one person, but let's see what happens. Just at least just one video to just get it out there, so people can just learn something new. As I'm learning right now, I'm actually going to watch one of these documentaries. I'll try see if I can watch one today. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Until next time. So Jerome as well. Have a safe operation tomorrow, man. I hope it goes well. I hope you're well and everything is cool. That would be cool as well. But take care, guys. Until next time. Kiss.